Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads web hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads web hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
It's Aussie Tech Heads again. How are you going? Welcome to another episode. This week, we're recording Thursday night, 9th of April 2015. I hope you've had a good week since we last spoke. And, you listen, we speak. So I hope you've had a good week anyhow, since when it was you last heard us. What's been going on? Well, not too much. No, not too much. I've been busy at work. Yes, I've got plenty of questions to ask Jace tonight. But let's have a chat to him first. But before we do, we must thank Aussie Tech Heads web hosting, athwebhosting.com.au. That's us. So we'd like to thank ourselves every now and then. If you want a web hosting service that's got Australian-based servers, come on over to us and have a look at our pricing, and you'll find that we're pretty competitive. And we offer a great Australian server-based service. All right, and also to scopeiteducation.com.au. We'll be hearing more about what they do later on in the episode. But now it's time to say hello to Jason. Hello, Jace. How you going?
Hey, how you doing, England?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks. Just us two
I'm
this
here.
week. Yes.
I'm reliable.
Yes.
I got no life.
Oh, well, let's... I think what's happened for the rundown, Shane, hiatus... I don't know what that means. He's just busy.
Jail.
No, he's busy. I just like the hiatus. That's how he said he was on. He says, I'm on hiatus.
Like the guy who went to visit his next door neighbour, and he is like, he noticed that his garbage bins hadn't been put out, and he went to him. He said, "Where's your bin?" He said, "Oh, I've been to Queensland." He said, no, your wheelie bin. Where's your wheelie bin? He said, "Oh, I've really been in jail, but I tell everyone I've been to Queensland."
Now, that's the politically correct version of that one, I feel. But anyway, Shane is he's got some study going on, and he's been asked to work late, so he's not available for a couple of weeks. Will, he's working hard. He's not available this week, and poor Eric got the sniffles. So get well soon, Eric. We're thinking about you. All right, now.
Do you like the shirt? Can you read that?
I'm a lot cooler on the internet. Yes. Oh, look, you love shirts, don't you? I noticed that.
I know.
Yeah. Yes, you posted one up there on Facebook earlier. Bedrooms and bathrooms.
From bedrooms to billions.
That's right. What is that?
About the retro history of computers from the 1980s up till now. It's a movie with a lot of merchandise and stuff. I watched the movie; it's pretty good. So a lot of interviews with famous retro people who made music and games for Commodore 64, ZX81, Spectrum, and all of that. Right. So and Amiga. It's got like Rob Hubbard and Ben Daglish who did music for a lot of games for these 8-bit computers, and it's got the whole history there. It's a fantastic show. So yeah, right. I decided to support them on Kickstarter, so I got the movie download. DVDs are coming, and I got that shirt just now, tonight.
Oh, excellent work. So what, are you a bit of a shirt collector?
Seem to be now. Good thing was this and many others have been coming into Kmart for $10. So I'm like, okay, I'll get this one. I got a Pac-Man one just recently because there's a guy I follow on Facebook and Twitter called Oz Retro Gamer, and he posts all the stuff about Australian retro stuff. He's in Melbourne as well. And he posted this picture of himself at, he never posts his face, so I don't know what he looks like, but he took a photo of the Pac-Man shirt at Kmart, and I was like, oh my God, I got to get that. So I ran out. As soon as I finished work, I went straight to Kmart and got it.
Oh, you should have rang him up and said, put one behind the counter for me. That's what you're doing it. And then she's going, oh, I've got some nerd on the phone.
Another bloody nerd.
Yeah, wants me to put a Pac-Man shirt away for him. Oh, it's strange.
Loser.
All right. Now, look, thanks to everyone that sends in donations. We do accept donations off the webpage. Not that we request them, but if you do happen to come across the webpage and you see that one, and yes, thank you to everyone that does that. We've had that
$1,000 check we got last time was quite good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, bought heaps of coffee.
Had a lovely holiday.
Yes. No, we got a couple of cups of coffee this week, so that's excellent news. We thank you very much. And look, also that email that I went through last week that I didn't actually get to because I didn't have the name who sent it to me. Well, I've got it this week. So it was from Stuart. So thanks, Stuart, for your email. He was listening to the podcast a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned that how I set the Minecraft server up on AWS. And he's into it. He says, for a few years, I've set up Minecraft servers for friends and family using MineOS Turnkey and highly recommends it. It is a self-contained system built on Debian Linux, but everything has been stripped out of Debian except for what is required to host a Minecraft server. This means it can run on very modest hardware or set up as a virtual machine. That's something probably where I'm going to go when I get 5 minutes. Looks like the AWSs and all that, they're going to cost too much to do. So I think So your upload speed, Jace, that's enough, is it, to run the Minecraft?
It doesn't really need that many packets. Mostly the problems that Minecraft has is RAM and CPU speed, and even more RAM. So if you've got some good RAM in there, a few gigs, you should be right.
Yeah.
Another place, if people are looking for somewhere to host and they don't know that much about computers themselves, Creeper Host in the UK, very good. They're really good. You just say, I want a server. They're like, okay, your server's up and going. You can log into a web console, type in the name for your server, so you can have, Bob's Really Cool Server or Cool Server 25 or whatever you want. And it's already up and going. You don't really have to do anything. You can add on extra plugins and things by just clicking on things in the interface, do a search, and it installs. And they've got their own editors that they've written in the browser, so you can edit the text files and change settings or just tick boxes and type in numbers instead of knowing how to edit files. So it's really good, very easy to use.
Now, so if I was to set it up on a say a dedicated machine here, how easy is it to back it up? Like so if
you just copy the files, but they can get quite large into the gigs. Right, depending on how much exploring the kids do.
Right. Oh,
my backups are currently about 6 gigs each.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. If you bought it like a little external hard drive or something, you could just back it up onto that. Yeah, that's all right.
You could run it on a small Pentium or something like that, even running Windows. Every copy of Minecraft since probably about a year ago have got a built-in server and client. They used to have them separated, but every client that you have is also a server. So if you just have a couple of kids at home that just want to play together, if one of them starts up the game and then turns on share this game, the other person just can connect to their IP address on the correct port. It'll tell you, this server has been started, here's the IP address, connect on this port, and then even if they're on the same LAN, they can just do a search and it'll search the LAN and find any open servers in the house that you can connect to and just connect up to the other person. They can play together.
Yeah, so it's pretty, because my two are on the iPads, playing on the iPad, and it just comes up in blue, the one that's shared or whatever. But yeah, so Stuart he says he goes on to say he has been running on a 10-year-old Dell PC that has a Pentium 4 2GB RAM. It runs fine. Once you set it up, it acts as a headless server, so you can leave it plugged in somewhere out of the way. Like all those old Windows 8 machines in cupboards we used to hear about not too long ago, just churning away.
Find them behind a brick wall, some servers too.
Knock that wall out, Okay. Oh, there's a couple of Windows 8 servers in Windows 98 servers, yeah. So once you start it up, blah, blah, blah. So also being Linux is very stable and secure, but you don't need to know Linux to use MineOS. You can run multiple servers on the same box, start, stop servers, manage white, black lists, and configure backups. Oh, there we go. You answered my question. I didn't read it properly, did I? There you go. And he's given us a link, minecraft.code. emo.com. So see, there's code emo. So there's 2 E's in there. So, but if you Google it, you'll get it, and it's free. So there you go. It's a great way to utilize your old PC if you're into Minecraft and you want to do that. So thanks, Stuart. That is very helpful. I'll be looking at the code emo site. And
They even do packages for like your Synology servers and stuff like that. So if you've got a Synology file server, you can download a Minecraft package and run it on there. You can probably run 2 people. If you've got a low powered version, you could probably run a couple of people okay. But once you get to like 3 or 4, you want to have a really good amount of RAM, because a lot of them only come with like half a gig of RAM or maybe 1 gig if you're really, really lucky. But the more RAM you can throw at it, the better. And otherwise, you go to a place where there used to be your house and suddenly there's a great big hole in the ground because the computer couldn't keep up with swapping the RAM out to the hard drive and back again. So if you've got like 1 or 2 gigs of RAM in a Synology server or something like that, you can even run Minecraft from there.
Good stuff. Now, look, we'll jump into probably the biggest story of the week, and that's the biggest. Oh, I don't know. I was going to say a big scare story, but it could get pretty real for some people, I'd imagine. And that's, of course, is this decision to bring down on the side of the movie copyright people, against the IINet in particular, and a couple 9 other little ISPs or something. So did you want to explain that, Jace? What's happened? What's the decision?
Well, there was a movie, Dallas Cowboys, that a lot of people have downloaded from BitTorrent, and the people who made the movie studios, have been trying to say that they've been tracking people through BitTorrent and getting a bunch of IP addresses of all of these people, and they say everyone likes to go after IINet because they can't go after Telstra Optus because they're too big, so they pick the next biggest one and they think they can bully around. So it's always IINet. Nobody has ever complained that Telstra people are trying to steal stuff.
That's fair income.
Yeah.
Because I just interrupt your little explanation there.
Fine.
But yeah, because I was thinking about that the other night when this came out, and I thought, okay, maybe Telstra and Optus and that have already doing it. I was of the impression that they weren't getting asked to do it. It does seem crazy, doesn't it? That they're picking on an IINet or a smaller one. And what is Telstra just that big? They just fob them off and go away. Here's a bunch of lawyers. Go and sort it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
they're like, well, we couldn't fight somebody with lots of money, so let's look the next. No, Optus is a bit big because they're powered by Singtel, so maybe next one down. Oh, IINet. Let's try them. They seem to be like small fry, and they turn out not to be because IINet's always fighting back. And so they reckon they've sent all these IP addresses to IINet and said, can you tell these people that they're in big trouble because they've been copying our movie?
So I can't see what if they're picked on IINet. Surely, if they get maybe because this is their plan. This is how it's going. I can see the waters have cleared. The skies have cleared for me. They're going after a smaller ISP to get the landmark decision because IINet probably only have 25 lawyers, where Telstra's probably got 125. So they've gone after IINet, 25 lawyers. Yep, we can handle them. Blah, 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 whatever. They won't be as smart as Telstra, so we'll get the landmark decision, and then we can go and just go to Telstra. Hey, we've already got the decision, so show us the addresses. Do you reckon that's why it's working like that? Do you reckon that's it?
Something like that. They're trying to bully them around.
Get in the back door.
I was just reading IINet can launch it says IINet has welcomed a landmark piracy judgment handed down by a federal court, saying the legal case has shed light on the practice of speculative invoicing and the ruling prevents its customers from being threatened over copyright infringement. So they're going to fight back anyway.
Yeah, but so look, I suppose
they can appeal.
Yeah, so look, it's probably sent the shivers up a lot of people, 4,726 people, and they're probably unaware of who they are at this moment in time. But look, they've used some software. Apparently, the company behind the Dallas Cowboys or whatever it is, apparently it was a really crap movie anyway, Dallas Buyers Club.
It's probably why they want to get some money, because nobody watched it and paid money for it. So they're like, well, let's sue somebody and get money. It always works for patent trolls and such.
Yeah, so they've they've employed some German software. I don't know why they need to outsource software, but anyway, they've employed this. They've got this software, and so they've downloaded. Apparently, they've downloaded a version of the movie and re-uploaded it or seeded it or something. I can't actually remember now how that worked. But in any case, once you hook up to their seed, they can see you downloading. Which comes to my second query is that, but are they saying that downloading is illegal, or is it the sharing that they're really crying about? Which I think is the sharing that they're really crying about. But then, when you torrent, you're not really sharing the whole movie. You're only sharing maybe
You only share the bits you've got.
a 15th of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're not really, sharing it too much. So one could probably argue maybe that's fair use. I don't know. It seems all dodgy though, doesn't it?
Says the ruling means that about 4,700 Australian internet account holders whose service was used to share Dallas Buyers Club on the internet from as early as May 2013 are soon likely to receive legal letters from Dallas Buyers Club LLC's Australian lawyers threatening legal action.
Yeah.
This occurred in the US, where legal action was threatened against account holders, claiming they were liable for damages of up to $150,000 US.
Jackpot, ching ching.
And some cases, settlements of about 7,000 US were paid.
So what would you do, Jay, if you got a letter? What would you do? Would you just sit tight for a bit, or would you go, nah, okay?
After the doctors revived me?
Yes. Yeah, so...
I would just wait to see what happens with IONET because, as I mentioned, IONET's going to fight back against it and they'll appeal. They've got lawyers, so let them fight about it. And if it came to it, I guess you would have to figure out what to do, maybe lawyer up yourself.
Yeah, that's right. And look, I can't see that...
Get Netflix, people. Stop torrenting.
So 4,726 is not a big number. So you'd probably have to say that this is probably just seeders that they've been after. Like, there's probably more leeches than that.
Probably why it's 150 grand each because they couldn't get that many people.
Yes.
You're like, let's say we probably would have made $50 billion. Let's divide that by 4,700 people. Okay, 150 grand each.
Yeah.
If we found more people, you would have been paying less. It's your own fault, dobbing your next door neighbour.
So, I don't know. Is there a safe way to BitTorrent? Probably not.
They'll bring out encrypted BitTorrent. It already exists, so people just switch over to that.
Yeah, because there's other ways apparently out there that you can go that aren't a BitTorrent as such, and I think there's probably other ways out there that you can go without actually seeding as you download.
Check out the news groups; they're full of it. People use stuff like Couch Potato and Sickbeard on their Synology server with a membership to a news group where all the movies are, and they can just download it from there.
Yeah, so I suppose if you're just downloading, you're not really sharing, so therefore, they got to go up. And then some of these things, when you hook up to these news groups, it's all SSL anyway. Does that make any difference?
Yeah, well, they can't read what you're doing.
Yeah.
All they know is you've got a connection to a news group for some reason. Can't see what's in it, so all they know you're posting happy birthday pictures or something.
Yeah, so look, you just got to if you're one of those people that likes doing it the wrong way, then there's probably ways that you can do it that you can Google it and find out how to do it a bit better.
Yeah, they've had encrypted BitTorrent around for a while, just nobody has really cared.
Right, okay. Yeah, okay. I think people are going to start caring now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, particularly that, and now that the TPP agreement's also going to bring in the three-strike rule to Australian ISPs, so you do the wrong thing 3 times as the same as other countries, then you'll be blocked from purchasing an internet account with any provider in Australia.
Yeah, right. Wow. That's going to... Yeah, look, I know. I think Mark that used to do the show, he got a letter once, and I think he was with a local ISP, and it was about, you've downloaded an incorrect file, and this is your first warning. So I think the warning letters have been around. Some ISP have been doing them. But yeah, would certainly send the shiver down your spine, wouldn't it, if you got one? You go, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That movie wasn't worth that much, surely. But, like now we've got Netflix and Presto and Stan. Like, who needs it? Now, I know, remember when Stan came out, we bagged its name, going, why Stan? Well, I was watching, is it in England that there's a streaming service called Dave? That's obviously where they got...
TV channel.
Is that what it is? A TV channel called
TV
Dave?
channel named Dave after Dave Lister, the main character from Red Dwarf.
Oh, right. Well, I thought that
They
maybe.
show a lot of Red Dwarf reruns plus a lot of other stuff on there.
I thought maybe that's where Stan got their inspiration from. Like, England's got Dave. Can't we?
Dave sounds better than Stan.
We'll just have Stan. He's our man. Let's go. But I think. Look, and also this week, that today wasn't it? Telstra was supposed to be upping all the data.
Quotas.
Yeah, has that? Do you know if that's happened? It hasn't happened to me. I've been waiting.
I know, I just threw away Telstra. I do laugh though, because I see ads in the street around town and it's got join up for Telstra, pay $30 a month for 1.3 gigabytes. You sign up for any of the others like Optus, you get 1.5. So they're even scamming you out of like 200 megabytes for nothing. Come on, guys, pull your finger out. Give them 1.5.
Yeah, like 200 meg, like fair income. Like that's a bit crazy, isn't it?
But I have to give it to them. They're jumping on the bandwagon that everybody else has got now. That if you go over your quota, instead of charging you a gajillion dollars for every byte that you do, they're going to do the same as what Optus do for me. And if I have 1.5 gigabytes and I go over that, rather than charging me per megabyte or something like that, then they just give you another gigabyte for $10.
Yeah, right.
They automatically charge you that, so you know you've got exactly $10 that you're going to be charged.
Yes.
Not get a bill for $90, and you're like, "What happened here?" Well, you went over, and then we switched over to charging you $2 per megabyte or something. You're like, "What the hell?"
Because another thing that I realise they've been doing this for a long time, but as I was just going through plans and the Telstra speak just the other night, and they've still got 1 gig is 1,000 meg. Like they don't even want to give you the extra 24 meg for the gig for each gig.
It'll always be like that. Same as hard drives, right? You can never get a 500 gig hard drive.
No, I know it's crazy. I don't know why, but yeah. So anyway, I haven't seen the Telstra things. I've heard about people getting them, the increase in the data allowances on mobile and home, but as yet I haven't received my email on where that is.
Sad.
It is sad. I'll start crying in a minute.
So to counter that, they invented things like the gigabyte and the kilobyte and things like that.
Oh, what's all that? Just
check out Google.
Okay, I will. Is that like the Clayton's gigabytes and stuff?
Well, that's what they're calling the 1024 now. See?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. That Clayton. That's a word you haven't heard for a while, isn't it? Remember that
one gigabyte equals 1024 megabytes.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Is this a joke? What's going on?
Sounds like it, but it's serious. It's deadly serious, Glenn.
Oh,
it's deadly serious.
It's a joke. I thought that was coming from your act. It's not.
Speaking of jokes, though, didn't I get caught out with the April Fool stuff? I was saying that Microsoft were doing DOS for Windows Mobile Phone as a joke. It's a real app. It works.
Right.
It gives you a DOS prompt. You can type in commands, dir, edit files. You can edit autoexec.bat and config.sys.
Really?
You can type in the word camera on the command prompt and it'll launch a little camera window that shows you a blocky 8-bit image. Mm-hmm. So it takes the real image that the Windows Phone camera can see and then blockifies it so it looks like an old 8-bit one.
Right.
And I was also mentioning that Amazon had this pretend thing that they had on April the 1st where it had a button for like your washing detergent, and if you press that, then the next day that detergent would turn up at your house. It's true.
Right.
It actually is a real thing. So you have your washing detergent, you run out of Boost or something, press the button on the wall, it's hooked up like Bluetooth or through your Wi-Fi, and it'll order you some more washing detergent turned up on your doorstep the next day if you're an Amazon Prime member.
I can get why that they've done that now, but what with the DOS prompt thing? Why?
Because they can, and they thought it was funny.
So they've released this on April Fool's, going, everyone's going to think it's a joke, and then it turned out to be real, so everyone got fooled anyway.
Yep. Yeah, and they downloaded it. My boss at work downloaded it onto his Windows phone and puts it on there. You can start the internet, and when you click on I can't remember if you type internet to start it or something like that, a command prompt, and it boots up and it goes, like it's connecting through a modem.
Oh no! Oh look, that's probably pretty funny. It's probably just a little something good to have, isn't it?
They probably just made a little emulator, DOS emulator, like DOSBox or something, and put it in there, and it just works from there. So,
Look, I'll tell you another app that's completely useless and pointless, and it'll relieve you of $2.50 from the App Store or the iOS App Store, but it's pretty cool. I'll get the name of it, and it's not for everyone, obviously. Once you hear this, but it looks like it's just called TARDIS. Now it is a Doctor Who app, but it puts the TARDIS in the real world. So I've taken a
augmented
picture.
reality.
I've taken a picture, and somewhere, where's my photos? And I'll show you. Oh, for people on the audio, you're not going to see this. I know, I understand, but there you go, in my room.
Nice.
The TARDIS is in my room. Now, what happens is...
It looks big compared to you in that picture.
Yes. So what happens is you put your phone in the air and you go around like this, and you'll see a small little TARDIS somewhere, and you can look at it, and then you push the screen where you want it to land, and it will land in your room. And then if you say you want it to land next to the door, okay, it'll land next to the door. So this is on your photo screen, on your screen, obviously. Then you can move your camera around like that, but it knows where the TARDIS was.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can move left, no TARDIS. You can move right, no TARDIS. But as you pan from left to right, when you come across where it has landed, it'll still be there. It's pretty wild. Yeah, it's pretty wild. That's good. It was worth the $2.50. Yeah, it was really good. You'll have to have a look at that one, Jace.
Good for your Facebook pics.
Yeah, I'll put one up on Facebook to show you what I'm talking about. But yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty cool. But talking about Facebook, it's facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. And that's not one of the apps I put up because it wasn't free. It was just $2 or something. But most days we get some good little apps that we can put up for free that are free for that day. And there was a good one not too long ago. I don't know if anyone saw it, and I forget what it was now. It was that good. But it was a good one, and I thought, oh, yeah, I can see me using that. So I downloaded it myself. I'm just going to try and go through my little thing here. Oh, yeah, the photo marks. Watermark your photos. I thought that was quite a good one. And I think there was another one, but that photo one. Because sometimes, like when I'm out doing work or, you want to take a picture of someone's computer or the guts of it or the motherboard or something, like I'll keep that and put it on their file so I know what sort of stuff they got. And it's always be handy. Yeah, if I can just write some text onto the photo, well then I don't have, when I put it into like Evernote, I don't have to start typing text. I can just put it onto the photo, send it to Evernote, bang, I'm done. So yeah, that was a really good one. So you can get real good stuff.
And Evernote can do OCR on the text that you typed in there as well.
Oh, really? Can it?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. It's not bad, that Evernote, is it?
I use it to store my stand-up comedy notes that I make on the road.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Nice. When's that? When you're planning your first hit out?
Maybe Monday.
Ooh, where at? Just a little open mic?
Yeah, bar in Richmond.
Yeah, right. How long's your act go for?
Probably about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's...
That's the maximum they want you to do for open mics,
yeah, right.
Particularly amateurs.
Yeah, right. It's very brave, Jace. Very, very brave.
One of my friends in Sydney, who has a similar sense of humour to me, started doing it probably about 5 months ago, and he loves it. He goes all the time.
Are you going to? Is it going to be filmed? Are we going to see it on Facebook?
Probably not the first few ones. We'll see what happens after I get into it a bit more.
Yeah, right. Good stuff. All right. Now, our sponsors, scopeiteducation.au, what they're all about. I'll tell you what they're all about. Kids today are engrossed with technology, often spending excessive hours behind the screens. The guys at Scope IT Education aim to not fight that war. They instead aim to change those hours into productive hours. They turn consumers into creators. Scope IT Education is a teaching organisation that provides curriculum-based technology training to primary age students. Predominantly, lessons are done within the school system and refined, professionally developed courses that align with and complement current state and national-based outcomes. The course range is vast, with classes in introductory coding skills, with process-based, logical thinking, app development, website design, digital citizenship, Google research, and now even 3D printing, electronics, and robotics. Oh, good stuff. Of course, all their courses are fun and engaging. They carefully combine this with specific outcomes to help shape our children's education for the future, arming them with the technology skills they will need in the world they grow up in tomorrow. If you think this sounds interesting, they have franchise business opportunities for anyone feeling that this product sounds intriguing. Or if you would like to know more information as a teacher or a principal, check out the website, scopeiteducation.com.au. And go and check them out because they're into the schools. They're teaching the primary school kiddies to code and do all this WordPress, and it's great. It's good stuff. It's also like a good little business opportunity for anyone that's looking for to start up a little franchise. So go and jump on into it. It sounds good. Speaking of the technology of the future, there's been a bit of talk lately about this Mars expedition. Look, they're saying that it's going to happen. 2025, I think they're saying that they look like they're going to send a mission up to Mars and people are going to go on it and they're going to stay there. So it's all getting exciting.
Yep, it's going to be a one-way trip, kids.
Yeah. Is that something you're interested in, Jace? Given the opportunity? No, me neither. But apparently, if you don't get selected, it's pretty hard to get selected. There's only like a select few will be able to go. But there's some dude that is also planning on selling tickets, and they're going to cost you something like, I don't know, was it 250,000? I thought, or maybe a bit more, a couple of million or something. That's a bit of a broad.
Suddenly all the bankers have left the Earth.
Yeah, they're going to Mars. But you can't even breathe up there. Unaided. And the water you got to purify. So, look, it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. But, But anyway, that's what some people are in. And look,
have fun, people. Bye. Yeah. I won't miss you.
But look, we do need people, like this. We do need explorers. Otherwise, nothing would happen, would it? Think of all the explorers that we've had so far that, in the old days when the Earth was flat, they set out on their big sailing ships and they went, this Earth is not flat. And they rowed and rowed and rowed and sailed until they went full circle. All right. Now, Apple, Google, and Microsoft have been in the Canberra in the Senate inquiry, as you would have probably known as well. Australian senators have lashed out at the local boss of technology, Apple, over a perceived lack of transparency in a committee hearing. So the three of them have gone in. Apparently, the tax office is investigating 12 technology companies all up, but for some reason the big three, Apple, Google and Microsoft, just happen to be probably the most publicised ones. But the tax office,
well, the ones like Rupert Murdoch and that, they're like, you have to come in here, and they're like, no, don't feel like it, so we're not going to bother turning up.
Yes, Rupert can do that.
Yeah, he accidentally transferred $2.5 billion out of Australia just recently. He said it wasn't a tax job. You just need to get the money out.
Yeah, he's got expenses.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Poor guy. Feel sorry for him.
How old is he? He's getting on, isn't he?
11 billion.
Yeah, he's getting on. And I think his mother only just died, didn't she? Was that reason? She's not still going. I think she might have just died. And she's a fair age as well. Because you know how old he looks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to look it up. How old is Rupert? Rupert Murdoch. Let's see how old he is.
Born in 31. 84 he is.
Yeah, that's good innings, isn't it? There you go, 84. But anyway, to get back to the Senate inquiry,
his first real name is Keith.
Keith Murdoch.
Keith Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, okay. Rupert.
His mum died in 2012.
Oh, I thought it was more recent than that. How old was she?
And his dad died in 1952.
That's a while ago. Now, anyway, Tony King, Apple's managing director of Australia and New Zealand, joined executives from Microsoft and Google Australia in a Senate committee investigating tax minimisation strategies. The Google and Microsoft executives came clean, if you can believe that, apparently, during the almost 2-hour grilling. Look, I've watched some of these Senate hearings on committees and stuff, and look, they do attack the people they're investigating, but sometimes I think overly so. I think they sort of they do sit there like kings, don't they? And they actually go, oh, we're the king of the world. But anyway, The Apple dude executive was widely criticised by the panel for refusing to reveal the details of Apple's tax structure. He said he was unable to detail what portion of the $6 billion revenue Apple booked last year went overseas. So now Nick Xenophon said, I find it extraordinary that you can't answer that. I'll have to ask you to appear again. I bet you he's just going, oh, why couldn't I have come up with something? Why would you want to go back down there? So he went on to say, we book all our revenues to do with Australian tax here in our books in Apple Australia. We purchase our products on an arm's length basis from affiliates. We book all costs in Apple Australia's books. We declare all the income in accordance with Australian tax law, and we pay all the taxes that we owe. Now, that is probably very true, and I have no doubt about it that that's true. But I think the problem is the bit about the affiliates. That's probably where the problem is, where it's coming from. It's these affiliates that are in Ireland and Singapore. So the company reportedly shifted $9 billion in Australian profits to its Irish parent in the last 10 years, prior to 2013. So the Apple executive denied suggestions Apple was inflating the transfer price of goods to a point where it could lower gross profit to minimise taxable income. Now, look, I went and had a look and thought, what's the difference between tax minimisation and a tax avoidance? Because you're allowed to tax minimise, but you're not allowed to tax avoid. So, and you might think that they're probably a bit of a blurry sort of a, mixture and mud pie of both things.
It's funny that the people who are able to afford to be able to minimise their tax shouldn't need to minimise tax.
Yeah,
the people who can't afford it have to pay lots of tax because you can't afford solicitor or accountant to work on your tax.
Right. Yeah, and like these guys, the three of them, they've probably got as many accountants as they got lawyers. That's crazy. But anyway, you are entitled to minimise your tax liabilities through investment activities and to receive the benefits provided for under the law. Tax minimisation is when you legitimately arrange your tax affairs to reduce the amount of tax you pay. These arrangements comply with both the letter and the spirit of the law. So probably the spirit of the law is the key point there as well. However, investment schemes and legal structures that do not comply with the law are considered to be aggressive tax planning arrangements, referred to as tax schemes. A tax scheme is an artificial or contrived arrangement to avoid or defer tax obligations. Schemes often involve a series of complex transactions. They typically move funds through several entities such as trusts in order to avoid minimise tax otherwise payable. Schemes may also involve distorting the way funds are being used to enable a taxpayer to claim deductions they are not entitled to. So I suppose, if I had to try and give an example, we could say negative gearing. Everyone knows pretty much what that is. You've got an investment, say a property or some shares or something. You've got a loan against that. Then you can offset your expenses. You can use to reduce your taxable income, the expenses that you have of making that money off that investment. That sounds complicated, doesn't it? But
that's why we're not accountants, man.
That's right. But let's just say we'll just use negative gearing. You know what negative gearing is? Right. But then there's a tax avoidance scheme would be, say you have got an investment property and you've also got a home loan. You've got a loan on both. And so what you do is you decide to pay everything off the investment property and pay nothing off your home loan. Right? So then that would be tax avoidance, because you're paying all the money that you would normally pay off your home loan. You're paying off your... No, sorry, it's the other way around. It's the other way around.
Sure we didn't need Eric this week?
We did. I know. I was spewing that he bloody had the flu.
Look, it's like this, Glenn.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's right. So, sorry, it's the other way around. So you've got your investment property and you're paying everything off your home loan, because there's no benefit of having a home loan tax wise. So you're paying everything off your home loan, and your loan on your investment property is either staying the same or increasing because of the way that you're doing it. Does that make sense? Not really. Okay. All right. Now, during getting back to this tax structure thing. It's very complicated. I've got a headache. During almost 2 hours of the grilling, the Google Australia Managing Director, Maile, did you see her? She was giving it to him. Maile Carnegie, Microsoft Vice President of the Worldwide Tax, Bill Sample. That's his name, Bill Sample. What a name. Revealed most of the Australian revenue was booked by an affiliate business in Singapore. Google's Australian tax structure revealed the local organisation provides sales and marketing services to Google Singapore, for which it receives revenue. It also provides research and development for Google globally. Look, talking about it, I know I'm not explaining it properly, so the best thing to do if you're interested in it is go and click into the show notes and read the article yourselves. But it's all about the guts of it, is that you buy a song or you buy something here in Australia via Apple, Apple's not paying tax on that in Australia. They're sending it to Singapore and paying the tax in Singapore, because Singapore's got 17% tax rate or something, and in Australia it's 30%. So that's why.
And you can reduce the 17% with incentives and stuff. So.
Even further. That's right. All right. What else have we got, Jace?
An Australian law graduate is spearheading a class action lawsuit against Facebook for alleged privacy breaches. It said the first hearing of tomorrow, he hopes the case will eventually lead to an overhaul of a Wild West approach to data protection. Max Schrems and 25,000 other Facebook users are suing the social network for various rights violations, ranging from the illegal tracking of their data under EU law to Facebook's involvement in the PRISM surveillance program of the United States National Security Agency. Basically, we're asking Facebook to stop mass surveillance, to have a proper privacy policy that people can understand, but also to stop collecting data of people that are not even Facebook users. There's a wide number of issues in the lawsuit, and we hope to kind of win all of them and get a landmark case against US data gathering companies. The case has been brought against Facebook's European headquarters in Dublin, which registers all accounts outside of the United States and Canada, making up some of 80% of Facebook's 1.35 billion users. Schrems was able to file his action against Irish subsidiary at a civil court in Vienna because under EU law, all member states have to enforce court rulings from any other member state. Among other issues, judges will have to rule on Facebook's objection that the class action is inadmissible under Austrian law, an objection dismissed by Schrems' lawyer as lacking any substance. So, good luck to you, mate.
Yes.
A lot of people have tried to get money out of Facebook and have failed.
Yeah, people trying to get... What was that story we had the other week?
Speaking of people with lots of lawyers, Facebook has them out the wazoo, dude.
Oh, look, they've all got them. Imagine, like, it's true. Like you see on these, these lawyer shows and everything. You see the companies walk in. They come in with about 10 lawyers, and why are they all sit? Why do they take 10 of them to sit into the courtroom? They all just come up with an idea as the thing goes. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's all getting too complicated for me. Look, something I can understand. An aluminium phone battery can be charged in a minute. Now, researchers who detailed their discovery in the journal Nature said the new aluminium-ion battery had the potential to replace lithium-ion batteries used in millions of phones and laptops. Besides recharging much faster, the new aluminium battery is safer than existing lithium-ion batteries, which occasionally burst into flames. A team led by chemistry professor, Hongjae Dai at the Stanford University in California made a breakthrough by accidentally discovering that graphite made a good partner to aluminium. In a prototype, aluminium was used to make the negatively charged anode, while graphite provided material for the positively charged cathode. A prototype aluminium battery recharged in 1 minute. While lithium-ion batteries last about 1,000 cycles, the new aluminium battery was able to continue after more than 7,500 cycles without loss of capacity. So there you go. And that was a discovery pretty much by accident. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? A lot of things happen by accident.
Yeah.
Excellent news. All right.
Some people are made by accident.
Well, yeah, it doesn't stop with batteries, does it? What else, James? You got anything else?
Yeah, some more Australian stuff. As Australia gears up for the launch of the Apple Watch, Commonwealth Bank is jumping on wearables trend with the new CommBank app for Android and iOS. Launching in a matter of weeks for smartwatches running Android 4.3 or later, the app will also be coming to the Apple Watch, though the bank says it's still completing final testing and won't give a firm launch date. While CommBank is not the first financial institution to come to the wearable app party, St George launched a smartwatch app in 2014. It is one-upping its competitors with the inclusion of cardless cash functionality on its app. Already a service available to existing CommBank customers using a smartphone app, Cardless Cash lets customers withdraw cash from any CommBank ATM using an 8-digit code sent to their device. On the wearable iteration of the app, users swipe to select the amount of money to withdraw, and after a short wait, the withdrawal code and a 4-digit PIN are sent to their smartwatch with a countdown timer showing when the code will expire. The app also allows them to use the ATM locator feature to find their nearest ATM to withdraw cash, while a simple balance feature shows a simple summary of their bank accounts and savings at a glance. CommBank has been forging ahead in the mobile payment space, launching cardless cash for smartphones just under a year ago in a bid to advance its mobile wallet agenda. Cardless cash transactions now account for some 60,000 withdrawals a week. The bank also launched an update for its Android app last month, bringing contactless payments to any NFC-enabled device running Android 4.4 KitKat or later. The update does away with the need for additional hardware such as CommBank's PayTag and allows customers just to tap and pay using the app.
Yeah, right.
So, nice.
Yeah. Commonwealth Bank. There's been a couple of ads about they got some little tablety device, isn't it? But look, I was just searching now, just on the internet there while you were telling that story, and I thought here's something that you might be interested in. Maybe the future, a side of one of your future gigs, the Kiss. You know the band.
Yeah.
Are in talks to open a rock restaurant in Australia. There you go.
That's interesting because the song I did at karaoke last night was Tom Jones' Kiss.
Oh, right. It's probably a different one than Kiss Kiss.
Yeah.
How did karaoke go?
Good. Yeah, had a lot of fun.
Oh, you got a good voice? You sing or not really?
I've been doing karaoke a lot. I used to do it probably like 15 years ago in Sydney all the time, every couple of weeks or so, but haven't had a chance since then. So time to get back into it. Why not?
Yeah. What sort of songs do you pick out of the book? Like upbeat
Well, there's
songs?
one by Tom Jones called Kiss.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I have to look at that one. Is that an upbeat
It was written
one?
by Prince.
Yeah, still don't know it.
Don't have to be beautiful.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
To turn me on.
know that
I
one.
also do a lot of Guns N' Roses and stuff too.
All right. Now you've got some audio work just been released. Some Doctor Who adventures or something. Fan adventures on audio.
Yeah, fan fiction, The Nth Doctor Adventures. Check it out on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube, is it? I thought it was
Yep.
So is it video?
No.
Ah, what's on YouTube? Is just a still.
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly a black screen, but you can hear us talking.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right.
There's a guy who does a really good David Tennant. You would think it was almost him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Look, I've pretty much run out of stories. I was in a bit of a rush. I had a big day at work, so yep. I'm just going to quickly just brush through a couple of ones I've just found while I've been scrolling. Sure. So YouTube to roll out ad-free subscription services. So Bloomberg reported that Google, which owns YouTube, will roll out a subscription service which will allow viewers to watch its billions of videos without sitting through all those ads.
Hooray.
Yeah, nice.
Don't know how much are they going to charge me though.
Let's see what it says. Imagine you can watch the latest awesome trailer. Yes, technically an ad, but enjoyable one without being made to trudge through a 30-second sell on how...
Yeah, you have to watch an ad before you can watch an ad.
That's right, yes. We're excited to build on this, blah, blah, blah. Subscription services such as Netflix have been dominating web traffic in the US. Netflix accounts for 35% of web traffic. Currently, YouTube will allow users to skip through many of the pre-roll ads, but only after the first 5 seconds and only if the person who updated the video allows for the option. YouTube's subscription will be made available as soon as this year, although it's unclear when this will be rolled out to Australian users and how much it will cost. Yeah, there you go. And look, where else was I the other day? You know, I've been having a beef about you can't talk to anyone, eh? Like Google, nah, serious? Someone wants to talk to us, you know? And I phoned Epson. Epson, they sell printers. I wanted to buy a docket printer. You'd think they'd answer their phone, wouldn't you?
No.
You can't find a phone number on the web page. You can find their office. So I rang that. No, you got to contact us through the web page. So I'm hot to trot. I want to get this printer. I'm hot. You know.
They cut down on the cost of CSRs by putting up a web page and say, type your stuff in there, mate. Someone will get back to you one day.
Yeah. So I did, and 2 days later, someone got back to me. It was too late. I'm cold now.
I've got an HP one. Screw you, man.
Yeah, no. Well, I've made arrangements for. My brother had this old parallel docket printer. Right, his computer blew up. So when he got this new computer, didn't have no parallel port on
Parallel
it.
port from.
No, so I bought a adapter, a expansion card, parallel port expansion card. Stuck that in there. It hasn't got it working yet, but but I mean, if Epson could have picked up their phone, well, we would have bought a $700 printer off them. We just want to know which one. And look, there's heaps of it. I can't understand it. I really can't. I thought printers were pretty competitive. Like maybe Google. Yeah, they're big. Who else does searches and online ads? Bing. So, they're out there by themselves. But I thought printers, you think people would answer their phone. I can't believe
try and sell as much as possible.
Yeah, I just can't get over it. Can't fathom it. But anyway, let's keep looking. See what else we got. You got anything else, Jace?
Yeah, a few more there.
Yeah, cool. Give us another one.
All right. Has Facebook or Twitter become spoiler-filled ground you fear to tread because you can't watch Game of Thrones as it airs?
Yes.
Google's got your back.
Ooh.
The search engine giant was granted a patent by the US Patent and Trademark Office on Tuesday for a system and method for processing content spoilers. The proposed filter would identify spoilers about TV shows, books, and movies and remove them from your social media feeds until you're up to date. Google's patent takes it a step further than a simple keyword-based filter that blocks all related content, though. Rather than sticker every post about a certain show or book with spoiler warning, the patent proposes a system that tracks, for example, all the episodes of a show that users have watched. It could then automatically censor content in a user's feed if the post is about an episode the user hasn't already seen themselves. The post would still appear, but if the system thinks it detects a spoiler, the content would be censored. And on the off chance you succumb to temptation, you can click past the spoiler tag and see what was posted. But don't say you weren't warned. Of course, this would all depend on users either manually logging in or opting in to have their viewing tracked, similar to how Netflix currently tracks viewing and posts to connected social media accounts. But with the streaming on-demand content fast becoming a new norm, and people tweeting their reactions to red weddings as soon as they happen, the potential for integration and the need to give unwanted spoilers the boot is definitely there.
Yeah, like that is a bit of a problem. I know, like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I imagine that if there is a big delay between when it's aired in the US and when it's aired here, yes, that's a problem. Because I know when Doctor Who is aired, it's pretty much the same within about 48 hours. So I stay off.
That's why I have to have two Facebook groups for Doctor Who, one to discuss things that people have seen a while ago and one to discuss stuff that may have just happened, but people are like, no, I haven't seen it yet, don't tell me.
Don't tell me. Yeah, but that's right. Like, I go off Facebook. And even to the extent even of daylight saving, because as Queensland doesn't have it and New South Wales does, and Melbourne and Tasmania, that it's like, I don't know, say you're watching I don't know, Who's a Celebrity? Get Me Out of Here or whatever that show was. Then, if you're on Facebook while you're watching it, you'll see who...
I can't believe they voted him off the island. Oh, my God, he was awesome. He was so cute.
But, it's, even in daylight saving, there's only an hour difference, but you can get it ruined by Facebook. So I just stay off it. If I know there's a show coming up that's time sensitive or whatever, I just stay off it.
What about people who tape the sports and then they want to watch it when they get home? They sit down there, okay, ready to watch the sports. Oh, guess what? I can't believe that Manly won that one. Lol. Oh, well, there's no point in watching the bloody thing.
No point in watching that one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but look, thankfully most of the games are live. But as you said, if you recorded them, I don't answer my phone. I don't accept text messages. If I've got a game to watch when I get home, I give it to Kim and say, here, what's this about? I don't want any scores, nothing. Because, it does. It ruins it for you. But anyway, Game of Thrones, apparently on Foxtel, it's on at the same time as the US. It's 11:40 in the morning or something. So they're trying to, get on top of things. But then again, it's on Foxtel.
You would tape it a lot of the time because it's on so early, then you want to watch it that night. But everyone on Twitter from the US, your best friend is like, oh, I can't believe the red wedding. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I can't believe someone got his head knocked off. Yeah, and all that.
Well,
Sort
you
of stuff.
can because of the type of show it is. Everyone gets
Yes.
their head knocked off or something on that show. They're
Yeah.
either getting their head knocked off or they're getting knocked up. I don't know.
So is it? Do you watch it?
I watched the first 2 seasons, then I went, "What's the point?"
Yeah. Okay. Why is that? To just sort of just continually
Just
drag.
doesn't seem to be worthwhile continuing after the first couple of seasons. I just couldn't continue.
Yeah.
And my housemate in Sydney had the same thing. I got a friend down here, a friend of mine. I hadn't met her husband, and so I once I'd moved down here, they invited us over, and we went over and met him and the kids, and chatting to him. And he's like, "Now we mentioned something about Game of Thrones came up, and he's like, so what did you think of it?" I said, after the first 2 seasons, I couldn't watch it anymore. He's like, why not? I'm like, I couldn't see the point to it. It's just not that engaging. I mean, they got the titillating sex and the naked people, and you can see just about everything all the time, and extremely gory, violent, just to keep viewers. But apart from that, it just didn't have the catch that would hold
Yeah.
me there to keep
Yeah.
watching it.
Well, that's fair enough. I've never got into it myself. I don't know why everyone seems to be into it, but I've never been into it. But anyway, all right. Any more, Jace?
Yeah.
Cool. One more. Let's do one more.
Providing free Wi-Fi in town camps could be the key to reducing the number of young people on the streets of Alice Springs at night, according to a major youth service provider. Locals in the remote town have been concerned about young people roaming the streets at night, and Labor MP Lynn Walker said she believed free Wi-Fi in the Todd Street Mall was providing a lure to youth. The Easter long weekend saw a spike in crime with at least 30 incidents of graffiti in 5 locations on Monday night. Central Australia Youth Link-Up Service Operations Manager Blair McFarland said that his organisation previously set up a free computer room in the Indigenous community of Pepunya, 240 kilometres northwest of Alice Springs. It was incredibly successful pretty much from the word go. The community really embraced it. Mostly it was young people using it, but you would also get grandmothers coming in and looking through old photos. Mr. McFarland said another benefit was the kids in Pepunya were all now extremely computer literate. Kalis has since rolled out free internet access to other communities, and Mr. McFarland said it would be much cheaper to provide free Wi-Fi to the town camps around Alice Springs. Here in town, you could have free unlimited Wi-Fi for $50 a month, and the good thing about this particular strategy is it doesn't require staff. Mr. McFarland said he approached the NT government, but was told there's no money available.
There never is.
How is free unlimited Wi-Fi $50 a month? I'm not sure about.
Well, it's the
Free
same
for
as
$50.
unlimited means different things. Unlimited doesn't mean the Oxford version of unlimited. Unlimited means not unlimited.
What we say it is.
Yeah, that's right. Unlimited means something.
5 gigs a month, unlimited data.
Now, look, just a one last passing comment on this illegal downloading Dallas Buyers Club rubbish. It was just I noticed. I don't know if I read it somewhere this week or if I listened to it on the radio, but it was it was interesting because whoever was they have you downloaded this movie and do you think you might get a letter or whatever? And the chick who was either on the radio or I was reading it. But anyway, the response was, no, they won't catch me because, yes, I did download it. But as soon as I heard that the court case happened, I went home and I deleted it all off my computer.
Good luck with that.
Yes. So she'll be right now. She'll be right, mate. It's all deleted. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
It was
Go
never
away.
there.
That's right.
These are not the torrents you're looking for.
All right. So, look, that's just about brought us to the end of the show. Let me tell you about the AussieTechRadio.com, AussieTechRadio.com, 24/7 tech shows, back to back, one after the other, and they just repeat, So we've got a number of shows in the lineup, and if those people produce a show in the past 7 days, then they get put up onto the cycle. So that's why there's shows up there, and sometimes there's ones like Obsidian Loft, like Jace's show. Sometimes
Would
it's
you
there.
believe another
sometimes
episode
it's
of
not
Old
there.
Fart Geeks was recorded a couple of nights ago? I just got to produce the video and get it up on there.
Put it in there. Good stuff. We'll see. That one will be up on the radio next week. So that's how it works, you see. So don't forget the radio. Don't forget the YouTube at youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Show notes are at aussietechheads.com.au. And you can email us, any of us, Shane, Jason, Eric, Will, or Glenn at aussietechheads.com.au, and it will come to us. All right, it's been a bit of a quiet night, quiet week. Apologies I didn't have too many stories slotted in there for this week's episode, but it's just been quite hectic. But I think that the biggest stories of the week were the illegal downloading decision and the Senate inquiry with the big three.
Tax.
Yeah, the big three dudes. All right. So thanks for coming in, Jace.
No worries. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time too. So until then, it's have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.